Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia and this is the Frontline Changes report for the past 24 hours in the Ukraine war or the special military operation in Ukraine. Just a side note, Israel has started a war with Iran with them striking the nuclear facilities of Iran. And so I have published a report regarding this on the DPA War channel. You can check it out. It's still in the early days, and the war is likely to continue for indefinite time to come, given the statement come out from Netanyahu. So just a side note. So we're going to start off with Kindrativka over in the Sumy Front. Over this sector here, there's a few geolocations at Kindrativka. So let me zoom out a bit so that it's a bit nicer to see. So geolocation of Russian forces along the tree line on the northwest of Kindrativka confirmed the Russian forces have taken part of this forest line as they try to secure Kindrativka. In this sector here, Ukrainian forces probably is still in this region here, to try to hold the Russians back against the Russian offensive in the Sunumi Front. Nearby in the southeast of this position at Andriivka, multiple geolocation of Russian forces confirmed that the Russian forces have expanded the zone of control around Andriivka, which means Andriivka is now very secure now, along with the south of Oleksievka as well. So the Russian forces continue to expand. Tentatively, still no indications whether the Russians is going to continue the offensive or will they settle this as the buffer zone. This one is not confirmed yet. As mentioned in the conclusions and perhaps also in the SIP rep yesterday, I did mention that this is already pretty optimal line for a buffer zone. So if they go further, then they will have to go for Sumy. If not, then they will trap themselves in a very difficult geography in this region here. So that's the frontline changes over in the Sumy front. We go to the next frontline change in Dvorichna front. Over here. So this is Dvorichna city and basically the namesake for the front line. The Ukrainian mapping have updated their map to indicate a massive expansion of the Russian controlled zone in this sector here. This is a very big chunk of territory. This is 9.93 square kilometers alone, and this includes the Ukrainians invalidating their own claim or disclaim that the gray zones within Dvorichna. So Dvorichna city is now fully under Russian control. This forest in the southeast of Dvorichna is all now taken by the Russian forces. There is also a push into the forest moving in the direction of Kharkivka. And also, the Russian forces seem to have again a very strong foothold in the forest northwest of Dvorichna towards the direction of Horovfka. So this is a pretty significant frontline change in this sector. It does change the strategic or tactical outlook of this sector here. So this is a very significant move. So the advance in the northward is around 1.4 kilometers. Towards Kharkivka from Dvorichna is around 1.3 kilometers. And the forest in the southeast of Dvorichna is more than 2 kilometers. Or even further if you go all the way to the furthest point, 3.5 kilometers. So these are all very big advances. I don't think this happens over 24 hours. This is probably information that was withheld by the Ukrainian side for a long time. So finally they considered this, so that basically gave the Russians a massive foothold. If I draw the river, you probably can see this is the Oskil River, and see that the Russians have a massive foothold on the western bank of the Oskil River. So that's the situation right here in the Dvorichna front. The next frontline change is good news for the Ukrainians at Lova. This is Borova front. At Lova region, the Ukrainian forces has been geolocated in the north at a trenchment north of Lova over here. And which means that Ukrainian forces have recaptured a lot of grounds around the Lova region. This is a continuation from previous reports. that the Ukrainians have managed to capture ground in this sector here. Let me pull a little bit to the right because I want to explain a bit of things. So previously, Ukrainian forces geolocated here, confirmed the Ukrainians counterattack in this sector, capturing these grounds, and then another one over at Zaporizhzhia, where the Ukrainians managed to capture some grounds in Zaporizhzhia. So this is a continuation of the previous, the continuation of the frontline updates to the previous geolocations or news regarding the Ukrainians capturing grounds around the Zaporizhzhia region. And this information, this advance clearly also isn't part of the developments in the past 24 hours. This probably developed over months ago, because the last update from this sector is months ago. We haven't had anything here in terms of frontline change in a long time. But great development. This is 9.68 square kilometers. So the Ukrainians basically really capture back quite a bit of grounds. This is the biggest Ukrainian capture in recent memory. In recent times, the Ukrainians seldom get grounds back. So after this, the next frontline change is at Horovfka, over in the Siversk front. This is Siversk. Horovfka is over here. Over at Horovfka, Russian forces raises the flag in Horovfka, which confirmed that the Russian forces have captured Horovfka due to the way how the soldiers are pretty relaxed. The soldiers are very, very relaxed as they raise the flag on the pole. So, and if you, let's say we give it a 1 kilometer range, you can see it's actually pretty big. If we go for a 1 kilometer radius, I didn't go for the full 1 kilometer. Main reason is because it's pretty foresty over here, or at least there's a lot of vegetation around here. So I do not want to just jump too far for the mapping, as the Ukrainian forces could potentially still be in the area. Hard to say, which is why I don't want to be a bit too optimistic about this. So that's the frontline change at Horovfka. The next frontline change is at Malynivka. So over in the Pokrovsk front, Pokrovsk is here, Malynivka is here. So over at Malynivka, there is a two slight frontline change. This is based on the latest Ukrainian mapping, with Russian forces capturing some grounds along this part of the town, and they also mapped that the entire road here is under Russian control. So this highway here, you can see this is very sparse. Like, if this is firm Russian control, then honestly, this sector here must be under Russian control as well, because you can't secure the road without the tree lines here. So, but of course, Ukrainians do gray zone stuff. So this is how they gray zone it. I can actually show you the. Let me show you the Ukrainian mapping. So, Malynivka is Pokrovsk. Okay, it's over here. So the Ukrainian mapping, you can see this is how they mapped it. As I mentioned, this tree line here must be under Russian control, and you can clearly see that the Ukrainians gray zone it. Means the Russians are actually there. So and Melanka is on the verge of full capture. Even Merne as well. So once if not, there's no way you can actually secure the forest. Or not the forest, the roads. The road. How do you secure the road like this? So clearly the Russians have this forest here. So that's what I'm trying to say. This is firm Russian control. We have previous geolocation of the Russians advanced this sector. So which means that the Russian forces is likely to have a much bigger zone of control like this. I mean, I'm talking about like possible realities, and which means that the Russians is on the verge of full capture of Malynivka. So that is most likely the case. This is Merne. Merne is very small, so Russian forces capturing it wouldn't be a surprise as well. And so which makes this impossible. This salient here is becoming more and more impossible by the day. If the Russians reach here, you can see how impossible this looks now, and that will be a horrible situation for the Ukrainian forces in defending around Zaporizhzhia. So after Malynivka, the next frontline change is Melanka. It's the same name, which is over in Zaporizhzhia front. Zaporizhzhia, over the Huyaipole sector. So this is the Huyaipole sector, Malynivka. So it's another Malynivka. So previously we have the Russian forces advancing very, very close to Malynivka. This was the previous update. And I say that the Russians is now on the verge of attacking Malynivka because they are just less than a kilometers away from it. And indeed, the Russians did this attack. So from this position, the Russian forces enter into Malynivka, as well as entering into the pig farm or poultry farm or chicken farm, whatever farm is that. Or maybe there's a barn, maybe that's just to keep grains. So Russian forces have captured a foothold in the south of Malynivka, exactly where I said it might happen. And so the Russian forces now entering into Malynivka, starting the battle of Malynivka. So the advance is around 1 kilometer deep, which means that there is some resistance from the Ukrainian forces. The Russians did not capture this for free, but I think that the resistance must be really poor for the Russians to capture 1 kilometer in a single day or two. So we will continue to monitor the battle for Malynivka. In this is not a very, very big town. So it's a village town, a farming town. So that's it. So let's do the frontline, the calculation for the total capture. So let's use Malynivka as a background, and let's use this as a background. Yep. So let's pull up the calculator. And happy birthday to you if your birthday today, and subscribe. There's someone commented yesterday that he have been unsubscribed by YouTube secretly twice on the DPA War channel in 3 months. So I have screenshot that and put it on Twitter as well as DPA's Telegram channel. You can check it out. It's not a joke. YouTube does snipe you, and unsub you without you knowing. So be careful of YouTube sniper. Do subscribe, and when YouTube actively unsubscribe DPA, then you will know that we are over target. We are the freaking bomber when we are over target. That's why a lot of frags is all happening all around us. So which means that I'm saying something that they really don't want me to say too much about. So at least they didn't terminate us. Yeah, but at least they does want to suppress DPA. So do subscribe and do press the like button, comment. As we push the algo, at least YouTube will still find some value in DPA and feel like maybe we can still DPA can still help them earn some advertising money or something. So maybe it balances it a bit rather than for them to outright censor DPA. So let's count 3.31 plus 9.93 plus 0.79 plus 0.24 plus 2.29. Sorry, 2.26. Total area capture is 16.54 square kilometers. It's slightly lower than the 20 square kilometers DOM, but yesterday was a massive frontline change. Yesterday, I forgot is a some stupid number, so some very, very big number yesterday. So I forgot what's the number yesterday. So this is a very big advance yesterday. So if we balance out, it's still 20 square kilometers. So this is the frontline changes. The Ukrainians frontline change is 9.68 for the Lova one at the Borova front, which is a whopping. This is a very big square, big square kilometers captured. It's actually quite big. I mean, for a long time, the Russians have to slow crawl, capturing 10 square kilometers per day. So this is not a small amount. However, in the grand scale of things, the Borova front, that sector is not that strategically important. The other places that Russians are taking grounds are way more strategically vital. And anyway, that's it. So thank you for watching. Do press the like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next update. Oops, sorry, I hit the mic. And also, check out the report or the just to get a general sensing of what's happening in Israel-Iran war. And I'll see you guys in the next update.